What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Joining us today is not Buck Fangs. It's not your anime king. It's Professor Buck.
Oh
Class is in
wow!
session. Class
All
is in
right.
session, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I guess I'll just get started by explaining the intent of the video. Um, so I used to do my pre-order list, my wait list, and my wish list stuff. I used to do it in a spreadsheet in Excel, and that kind of got tedious after a while. Having trying whenever you want to update it, so I have this thing where I like to put things on a trial, on a short trial by putting them in my wish list before I upgrade them into like being pre-orders, actual pre-orders. So I really like to deliberate before I buy things. And so when I put things on there on the Excel sheet, deleting them and then bringing them back in, editing values like price and other things. I used to have so many different like values in there that gave like ancillary information to the about the statue. So like you get stuff like what are the dimensions, what's the cheapest place to pre-order the product, how much is the price there, um, the release date of the statue, at least what the company says, and then I even put what I think the actual release date will be in there, and eventually that all became like overwhelming and it was kind of tedious for me. It felt like all that was actually extra information I didn't really need to focus on. And stuff like dimensions, that was useful to me before I had my current display. My current display can pretty much accommodate any stature I want to have. I don't need to worry about the height of the shelves. You know, if you have garage shelves, you got to concern yourself with what's up, my tribe people? A tribe called Quest. That was a bad one. Either way, on the garage shelves, you got to worry about like the height and stuff of the statues, the depth, all that. So I just did away with all of that, and I wanted to focus on the most important part: what the statues look like. When I'm looking at my wish list, I want to have something that I can edit on the fly really quickly, and I can put images in there for represent the statues that I want to buy, and I can take them out, put them back in super quickly, super easy. And so I'm going to be showing you the software that I use, and yeah, let's dive into it. I'm gonna start sharing my screen and let's see.
What's up, everybody? Joining in. Appreciate you, Mr. Kennedy. Random Korean, what's going on? Nice guy. Appreciate you guys all for coming through. Figure Kong too. Bats in the Belfry, what's going on? G Vega, Mtel, Slifer, what's good? What's good? And Mitchell Lawrence, appreciate everybody for coming through.
Is my screen being shared?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, like that. All right. So this is the name of this. This is the software that I use, and it is called PureF. Um, it's the name of the site, puref.com, and well, I'll show you. Basically, if you want to download the software, it's free, more or less. It was definitely free at some point. Right now, you can still get it for free. So if you want to get it, you go over here to download. Um, Under the download section, you can choose a personal license, and then you choose what OS you're using. I doubt anyone in the community is using Linux, except for like very small minority of people. Regardless, most people probably fall under Mac OS or Windows. So you choose what version you want. It installs very fast. It's a very lightweight software. And here you can actually choose to pay for the software. You choose to pay what you want. Um, they have preset amounts already, 15 or 7, or you can do a custom amount. When you click custom amount, they suggest 20. However, you can get it for free. What I do want to say is it's a really good software. The people that are making it, they're making it available for the community for free, the art community for free, and anyone who wants to use it. Honestly, I think it's a very useful tool for organizing references, which is the initial intent. Is for organizing art references while you work on an art project, either in 3D software package or in something like Photoshop where you're doing a 2D illustration. So if you want to get it for free, you hit 0 and enter, and now it's free, right? So you can hit download and you get the software. Just 16.5 megabytes for the downloadable, executable. Once you click that, you got to install and everything. So once you have this installed, what's going to happen is you're going to get the PureF program. So you can open that, and this is what it looks like. So from the beginning, it says drag and drop images here. I just want to do a quick run over for this part. See how it's got a pin up top here. Let me actually do this instead. Okay, so we have the software here. As you can see, what do you call this? I just call this the menu bar. At the top it disappears when you're in the actual workspace. But if you hover around the top, it comes back, so you can minimize, maximize, and you can close it over here. This pin, you can click it, or so see how it says always on top? Always on top, make sure that it's always on top of any program, any window you have open on your desktop. So in the case of if I was using this for art, I could have it on the side like that with my images in there, and I'm drawing something on this part of my screen. But that's not what we'll be using it for. But I like to leave it always on top. So I hit that pin, and so now it's, in fact, yeah, right now it's always on top. And I like to have it like that. So what I actually just do is I drag it into the corner like that. I always have the software on the side, and I can pull it up at any time I want. So you can just stow it in any corner you want. So let me get into how to use it. So I'm looking right now at my wait list on Sideshow, and let's start building a list of statues and stuff we want to put in. Like if we wanted to make a list of stuff we've paid for, stuff we want to put on, so the things we've paid for, things that are on pre-order, and then we're gonna do a list, like a wish list, and I'm gonna show how I do that. Basically, you're gonna see my what I call it workflow. You're gonna see the way I organize my list. So I'm gonna go to Tila Legends right now. So let's say I wanted this statue, right? This software is pretty cool. So you could literally just click on this image. Sideshow is a bit annoying. Let me not try to do that with Sideshow right now. I'm gonna say Tila Legends.
What's up, Carl? Appreciate you being here. Dennis Perez, what's going on?
All right.
Jojo, what's good? And Jomo, appreciate you guys coming through, man.
What's up to everybody? So we want to get the Tila Legends. Why am I using Bing? All right. Yeah. So we want to find the perfect picture for our statue, and we want to use it to represent this statue within our wish list or whatever. So I can take this picture. Is it a nice size 667 by 1000? I could just click on the image and drag it over here, and I drop it. It's on my canvas now.
Nice.
It's in there. So let's go about populating this with a bunch of statues we want. I'm gonna do a few more, and then we're gonna start organizing things. So we got Tila. If, for instance, you don't want to go to Google Images, I'm just gonna show you guys how to do this real quick. You don't want to go to Google Images to source your images to put in there. You could do this instead. So while you're on the Sideshow page, you find a picture you like. You got to hit, because these websites have a bunch of restrictions on copying images from their sites directly. What you got to do is you got to open image in a new tab. Now it's open in a new tab. You can just click and drag it onto the canvas like that. Super easy, very intuitive. And like I said, this is always on the side. If you don't like the fact, like, okay, I want to read what's on my screen right now. This is in the way. It's kind of annoying, but I don't want to minimize it. You can actually click and drag the window itself and
Yeah.
manipulate that and put it wherever you want on your screen. If you want to do that, you have to right click and hold and then drag it like to wherever you want it. So I wanted to see what was on this actual list. I moved it to the side like that. And now I can scroll and look at what's on this page without it obstructing my view. Another thing you could do is you can resize the window to whatever size you want. So maybe I want it to be small. And so now I can drag it around. It's a smaller window on my
Hmm.
screen. And oh, you're thinking the images look small in there. Sorry, they're too big. Well, you can zoom out and zoom in on the canvas. And the button for doing that is you use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Sorry.
Okay.
And so you can zoom out like that. And now I can zoom out. But see, if I try to like move around and like scroll in towards this, it's a bit tedious to do that. I also want to another control. If you click and hold the scroll wheel on your mouse, you can move the canvas within.
Mm.
So with not moving the window is with the right clicking and holding, but within the canvas you can move. So you can see the canvas, this lighter gray on top of this darker gray. And I'm just gonna, yeah. So that canvas, you can move it around by clicking and holding the middle mouse button, and now you can move it around, manipulate that. But even then, uh, trying to center this within the frame is a bit difficult by just like zooming and moving around. So something you can do is you can click on any image within this, and if you hit spacebar, it just zooms in on it and frames it within the window perfectly, right? And so if I wanted to look at the other image, I just click on it and hit spacebar, and now I move directly to that. I can go off my canvas, zoom out super far, and if I hit spacebar, it's back on Tila. Now that's for one image. If I highlighted all of them, I could hit spacebar, and it frames both of the two images that I have within the size of the window that I've made it to be. So if I make my window this large, and I hit spacebar while these two images are selected, it just frames them within the window. So it's pretty cool, very easy. At any point, if I was, I'll show you more about the controls and stuff in a second, but let's add more images to this first.
Cool. Cool.
All right. I'm gonna add this Spider-Man and this Arabian Night statue along with Dazzler. I like these ones. So one technique we can do, we could just click and drag the image from here directly.
Yeah.
That's something we can do. Okay, that's a good example for an image because I'm going to show you some other things you could do. Then over here, we're going to do this instead, where I click on the image. Like you see here, when I have the image bigger, I can actually like click and drag. So what do I got to do? I have to either find it on Google, or if I like the image here, because sometimes you don't want the stock photos that the website or the manufacturer will give you. You might want pictures that someone took at a con that look very appealing to you on the show floor, and that's a better representation of the statue for you. But for instance, you want to take this picture from Sideshow. Remember, all you got to do when you have it enlarged like this, you got to hit Open Image in New Tab, and then you click and drag, pull it in. Now it's in there as well. So now I want to add I want to add a Dazzler image. So you see how like it says 21 more photos. So I'm not seeing all the photos here. So normally I could just say I want to click and drag this image, and I could throw it in.
Hmm.
I'm gonna hit delete to delete that picture because I don't want to use that one specifically. What if the picture I want to use is somewhere in this 21 more photos and it's not accessible easily? I'm just gonna go to it, find the right picture. This is the one I like. I'm going to then open image in new tab. So and then I drag it in. Perfect. So that's the image I want. And so let's say all the statues I just put in here are statues. No, we're not even gonna get to that yet. Let's go to spec fiction. Cash, can you ask the chat to tell me? Well, the chat. I'm gonna ask the chat. Give me a statue. What statue do you want me to add to the list?
Yeah, what statue from Spec Fiction do you want added to the wish list? Spec has a wide variety of different studios: Tweeterhead, Iron Studios, Iron Kite, Peer Arts, Diamond Select slash Gentle Giant,
Mm-hmm.
XM obviously.
Yep,
Uh,
yep, yep.
Jomo says Moon Knight.
He says Moon Knight. Is there a specific Moon Knight? Let's see what Spec has.
Might have a Diamond Select. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
doesn't
waitlisted,
matter.
but it's there.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. We just need the picture, right?
yeah,
So we're on Spec, and you see like Spec has these zoomed in a little.
yeah,
And if I try to click and drag, it doesn't let me. I can't
yeah.
just click and drag the image because of the
Right,
way the functionality of the website is built.
right.
So what I would do is just open image, a new tab. I have this, but you can see it's a partial image. I don't like this
Yeah.
one. It's not good for what I need. So I'm gonna go to this one. It's the image I need, and I'm going to
Ah,
actually what I can do. It does allow me when I've inflated the image to this side.
mm-hmm.
I can actually just click and drag and put it on there. I'm going to
Yeah.
put in let's see, what does XM Studios have? Let's put in a transformer. Let's put in
We
RC.
also have anything Wonder Woman from Random Korean or Chun
Anything
Li
Wonder Woman.
from
Oh,
Mr. Kennedy.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
All
What's up,
right.
Alan Kiefer?
I'm gonna go. I like this Wonder Woman, so I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna take. Let's see what picture Spec has. It's a good candidate for something I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna click and drag this and see it's loading. It has it in my canvas. Beautiful. I'm sure you guys have already started to notice how these images are stacked on each other. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you a very easy way to organize that. Um, okay, so we got the Moon Knight, we got Wonder Woman. Um, yeah, I'm going to just add. Let's see. This statue is sold out, is out of stock, and it's one that I want. Just
Mm-hmm.
like how this Moon Knight is out of stock, we're gonna have like let's gonna add 2 statues to there. All right, drag that, and awesome, it's in there. So my canvas. Generally speaking, you want to get high quality images. You'll notice that the images are like you can see that they're all different sizes. See how large this one is? That's because
Right.
it's a high resolution image, so it's
Right.
very high res. And generally, I want to say you want to stay within the realm of at least one of the sides of the images should be around 1024 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
Always better if it's higher, not too high. I generally don't want to be putting stuff that is like around 4,000 pixels. Um, Depending on your computer, this software is pretty agile, but at the same time, if you're going to be adding a bunch of images, you don't want to put stuff that's too large. Regardless, we've added a bunch of pictures. Now we're going to sort out our list. So there's a keyboard shortcut that you could use to to go full screen on this, and it's Control F. So let's say I'm using the window, I'm in here. I need to click within the canvas, right? So I've clicked within the canvas, and once I've clicked within the canvas, I can then Windows recognizes any shortcuts I press as being within this software, the PureF software. So I'm going to hit the Control F key, shortcut, and that goes full screen for me. If I wanted to leave full screen, a really cool way to do it is to just remember how we could move the canvas around by
Right.
right clicking and holding.
Yeah.
Um, so if you just right click and hold, it'll minimize to the size you set it to before already, right?
Right.
And if you forget about the Control F shortcut, you could just use that to maximize the usual button up there. So now, like, we're a bit far. So I just highlight all the images on the canvas, and I press space bar, and bam, we're framed. Everything is in frame. But I'm gonna zoom out a bit because I want a little bit of space so I can see the full scope of what my list is looking like. What I need to do now is arrange the images. It's gonna be like a bit of a time waster to start doing this, dragging things around like that. It's gonna take us time. So instead of doing it like that, so I'm just pressing Control Z right now to undo.
Yeah.
And okay, so we're back to this. And I want to organize all my images, and I want to do it fast. So I'm just going to highlight everything on the canvas, right click, and then I have a couple functions in here that I could use. I'm going to go to images, and then I'm going to go to normalize. What normalize does is it's going to, you can normalize these different attributes. The height, so the height of all the images is going to be the same. Like it's going to be roughly the same across
Okay.
everything. Let me show you how that looks like. So now if you see, I bring this image near this, the height is the same. The height is the same. But I want to, and so that makes it really good for like stacking them side by side like that, right?
Yeah.
It looks even if you want, if you could, but that's when we're dragging everything. I don't want to have to drag everything by hand like that. And I don't want to normalize height. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to normalize scale. And then I'm going to normalize image. So go to images, normalize, and I'm going to do size. So in general, it normalizes pretty much all the attributes, average them across every image. Everything has been averaged. So we want to start by organizing these. First, I'm actually gonna make. Before I do that, I'm gonna show you like how to just set all of these into a grid. So you can right click on this image, and then you go to arrange, and then you can arrange using these different like functions. You can arrange in the order that you added the images into the canvas, which is by addition. And there you go. You saw the first images we put in were these, and this is the order in which we added everything. And it tried to put it in a grid. You can see like this whole square that everything is in. So, but if a single image was too big to put in here, it'll move it to the next row, and that's how it organizes stuff. But you can see we got a lot of negative space. I don't like that kind of organization. Instead, I'm going to go back to images, and I'm going to do arrange again. This time I'm going to arrange by optimal. And what this means, it tries to optimize all the images into a small space. And you see we have less negative space within this grid in here. So that's how I prefer to use the normalize function. Sorry, the arrange function and the normalize. So for normalize, I prefer to use normalize by size or scale. And then I also prefer to use arrange. I prefer to use optimize. So now that we're in here, you're wondering, this will be nice if I had some labels on statues, or if I had something to add some more categorization. And you guys can go balls to the wall with this. I'm just going to show you how I like to do it in the software. And if you notice, every time if I move the image, any image, if I move it to the edge outside this gray box that everything is in, it dynamically increases the size of my canvas so that it can encapsulate whatever image that is. So I'm just going to move all my images to the side. Let's think of this area as my workspace. And now I'm going to add text to this canvas. And the way you do that is by hitting Control N. And that opens it. You have a lot of options for what you could do, but I'm going to make 3 categories. And that's first category is going to be called paid. And also, Cash, let me know if anyone's asking any questions in the comments.
Oh yeah, man. Right now we just got some more people joining in. Vibranium Jim, what's going on? Main Man, what's up? And Jose Alicia, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys coming through.
If at any point anyone has any questions for me, just let me know and I'll answer them. And so we did a paid category. That's what I'm going to be calling it. So this category is going to be for all the pre-orders or anything at all. It doesn't have to be a pre-order. If it's something in stock and you bought it and you just want to know it, you want to keep track of it before it even arrives, before it's shipped, it's going to be in the page section. And as long as you've paid for it fully, it's going in the page section. Then we have another category called pre-order. Actually, let's capitalize all that. You're going to call that pre-orders. Then, yep, I'm just going to drag this over to this side. And my last, let me explain what pre-orders are for. Pre-orders are going to be where we keep anything that we've put money on at all. So if there's even the smallest amount of money, a deposit, anything you've put money on goes into the pre-orders as long as it's not fully paid off. And lastly, we're going to do Control N again to open another note. We're going to call this wish list. And once you're done typing, if you want to, stop it from being interactive, you just click outside of this text box. And if you want to edit that again, you can double click it, or you just click it and it allows you to edit it. You can add space, put whatever you want in there, edit it to your heart's content. You can bold all the words in there, italicize them, or you can underline them. You can change the color of the text if you want. And yeah, there's a lot of options. You can change the font. Whatever font is on your computer, I believe, will be usable in here. So if, for instance, you're like, oh, you wanted to have comic book font, or you wanted to have font that like corresponded to the character, and you wanted to have the names of the characters directly underneath it, and you wanted to use the comic book font that is associated with that, you could go find that online, download the font, and then you install it to your computer, and it will be in here. You'll be able to use that font. I'm not gonna go crazy like that. All I want is this wish list text. I'm also gonna drag this here, and one thing you'll notice is nothing is aligned right now. If I wanted everything to be indented and aligned on the same, aligned vertically, all of these, all the text that I have right now, one way to do it is I will highlight all of this, right? And then I right click on one of them and I go to arrange. Nope. I'm gonna go to align. Sorry. And it's a bit like I just always have to remember because I'm so used to using the shortcuts. But I go to align, because I want to align the text and I want to align them vertically. So
kind of like the pictures, yeah.
Yeah. And then you could just you could choose to align these. Sorry, go back to images and then align. And you can choose to align these however you want. Let's say we're gonna do top, so it's gonna be across the top of each thing. It's gonna be aligned, so everything is now on the same line like that. But that's not what I want. Also, I'm gonna edit this. I don't want this to be bold anymore. All right. So I'm gonna undo that alignment that I just did. Do the boldness on this text. All right. I want to align this to the side. I want everything to be here, and I want them to be in a straight line. How am I going to do that? I'm going to highlight all this, right click, go to images, align, and then I'm going to align left. And see how everything is on the same line?
Yeah.
So the shortcut for all of that, instead of going through all those menus, the shortcut for all of that is Control and hit left on your D-pad. And it just happens like that. Super easy, super fast, super intuitive. If I wanted to align everything to the right, I would highlight and then Control right on the D-pad, the right arrow key. Super easy, super intuitive. The same thing if I wanted to make everything to be at the top,
Control up.
do all of that, control up.
Yeah.
Very intuitive. I think you guys get it right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drag these, and again, I want these to be on the side. So now that I've aligned these, I'm thinking I don't like the height of some of these things that are on screen. I think the spacing is not to my liking. I can just click on the one I want, and I can drag it around. But as you can see that when I drag it, I'm no longer aligned vertically,
Yep.
which I don't want to mess up that alignment that I did. Right? There's two things I could do. I could just move it to the height that I want, and then I can go back. Since I know these two are aligned, I don't need to select everything again to align this to both of them. To align this single piece of text to this, I just need to click on any of the other two. And so, hold shift and and click. So now you have both two items selected. I got the wish list selected and I got paid. Or I could select wish list and pre-orders. So when I do this, I want to align wish list to pre-orders. I already know pre-orders and paid are aligned vertically on the side. And so I just need to hit control left and bam, it's connected. So now I've shifted wish list way down here. I created the space I needed. Um, right? And now they're all still aligned. I could do that, or while my bad, let me go back here. So everything is still aligned right now, but I want to shift how these things are vertically. I don't like the spacing, and so I could just click on one of these, and then while it's clicked, before moving my mouse, I hold shift, and you see how it stays vertically aligned. When I drag it, I can undo. So it stays vertically aligned. I can move my mouse. I can move my mouse up and down, and like it doesn't shift. Well, it's shifting because I'm moving my mouse too far to the side, but yeah. But basically, I can move it vertically like it's on some kind of train track. If you guys can see, it's snapping to different stuff, and it's making sure it stays aligned now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I can just drag things in a straight line or left or right. So
Yeah.
lateral or vertical movement. All right. Again, I'm just gonna check. Control left. Everything is aligned on that. And I'm gonna bring wish list back up a bit using shift and clicking and dragging so it stays aligned still. Now I'm gonna move different things to my paid. What do I like in this? What's something I've bought? I haven't bought anything in here, but let's say I bought Dazzler. So I moved Dazzler over here, my page section. And then in my pre-orders, I got this statue from Dragon Ball Z. I got this Wonder Woman. And then I got Sultana, J. Scott Campbell. And then I have Moon Knight. I'm gonna move Spider-Man. And let's take this image of Tila. Some people might think they want this one because it's a fuller image of the character. Sometimes I like to take something that's close up because if I'm looking at it from far, you can see like when I have it minimized and it's just a window on the side of my screen, it's better to have a close up image of the character than one that's far away. It's easier to tell what the
Yeah.
image is of, right? But when everything is full screen, so I went full screen. So let me just explain what happened again. To go out of full screen, remember, it's just right click, hold, and drag like you're moving it around. And then if I want to go back full screen, I hit Control F. All right. And then I can center my canvas and my screen by highlighting everything, hitting spacebar. Now everything is dead center in my screen. Everything that was within that box, everything that's within that blue box is framed in the center of my screen, right? With spacebar. So I want to use this picture of Tila instead of this. I've told you guys why. In the end, you might still decide you want what kind of image you want best to represent what's there for you. So I'm going to delete that image. So I just clicked on that and I hit delete, and it got deleted, right? So right now there's some things with some of my images I don't like, and I'd like to make them better for the purposes of my list. I just want to make it so there's not as much dead space, because you see, like, even this Spider-Man image, it looks a bit small and it's taking up space. I'd like it to be better sized with the Moon Knight. And so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crop a bunch of these images and get rid of a bunch of the dead space. So I'm on the Spider-Man right now, and I clicked on it. I'm gonna hit spacebar, and it zooms in on it. I'm gonna zoom out a bit by using my scroll wheel, and now I want to get I want to crop the image. So I click on this, and then I hold C, and then I drag over the image. If I hold C and drag over the image, you see this other circle, this other marquee or rectangle that's over the big one. Whatever's within that box that I've dragged the selection marquee, it's going to be what's within my new crop. So I'm gonna let go of the click. Bam. So I've cropped the image. I got rid of all that extra stuff that wasn't useful for me. So I'm cropping it, and maybe I want to crop the image more. So I'm gonna hit C again, and I'm gonna crop this even tighter. So this is all I need for my list. Bam. And I can just undo that by Control Z a few times. Again, I'm gonna crop this again so that it's what I want, and this is all I need for the purposes of this. Now I'm gonna do the same to a bunch of the other images, just so like everything's a bit tighter and there's less wasted space. So select this Moon Knight, and I'm gonna go C. Oh, I didn't crop it right. I'm gonna undo with Control Z. I'm gonna come in closer so I can get the right crop. Hold C, click, and drag. So this is about what I want. So that's good. This is a better image for what I need. I'm gonna do the same thing to this Wonder Woman here. I'm gonna go C, drag, then whatever's within the rectangle is gonna stay behind, like that. Same thing here. I don't need to see this guy's head. There's a lot of wasted space at the top. So I'm gonna click on the image. I'm gonna hit C, then I'm gonna click and I'm gonna drag. And there, that's cropped as well. Last thing I'm gonna do it for this Dazzler. C, drag.
Yeah.
Bam. So those are all my images now. And now the spacing is off and the sizing is off across all of these. So I can highlight everything. And this time I'm going to normalize height. Right? So now everything is the same height, which means the same thing I was doing with the text before, where I was aligning them, I can do with the images. So I'm going to highlight these images. Now I'm going to hit Control up. So the top, Control and the up arrow. And now all the top on this row, they've been aligned, right? They're still a bit far from each other. So I'm going to highlight them again, Control left. And now they're perfectly aligned. The images are side by side, and I've got what I want there. I'm going to do the same thing for the wish list row. Highlight everything, Control up, and then left, Control left, right? And now these are aligned. But I want this, and this to be aligned as well. So something I can do is, if I want to, usually the way this works, I'm going to just select everything here, and I'm actually going to drag it to this side so I can better illustrate what's going to go on. I'm dragging that to the side as well. So I need all of these to be vertically aligned. I need all these images. I want them to be vertically aligned. How can I do that? Same thing. Highlight everything, and then I do Control left. Now everything is aligned vertically on that row, right?
Yeah.
And maybe I don't like the spacing from the text. So I can highlight the text and I can pull it closer if I want. And I'm thinking, I don't like this spacing on the side. So what I could actually do is I can say control right. Now all of these, all of the text, they're like aligned on the right side. So now we have better spacing within this. I'm thinking, the space between these I don't like. I want them to be closer to each other. So what I want to do now instead actually is I'm going to align the text with the tops of each image in their row. So paid and Dazzler, I'm gonna do that control up. And so paid is at the top where Dazzler is. I'm gonna do the same with pre-orders and what's there. Hit up, control up again, and it's looking a bit neater now. This is organized in a way I like. Um, what else I can do now is increase the size of the images on screen. So I'm just gonna highlight everything. And now I have this window, sorry, this box. I just go to the edge and drag. So this is the size of my list now. And you don't have to do what I just did by dragging. In fact, just to illustrate something, I'm going to make a copy of this image. I'm going to put it on the side like that because I want to, because it might be annoying. You see the size of the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
It feels off to the size of the images. Um, and I want them to feel centered within the canvas. Uh, One way to rectify that was like when I grabbed it. So I selected everything and I just dragged. So the canvas will automatically size around the images. But instead of doing that, I'm actually just going to right click, and I'm going to go to canvas and see where it says optimize. I'm going to hit optimize, and it just makes it so it's the exact size as all the images within the canvas. You get a exact rectangle around that. So now everything is clean, and you're thinking, oh, it looks small on the screen. Well, that's just because you're not zoomed in. Because the resolution within this software, everything is dynamic. There's no point in trying to resize the entire canvas, like all your images together, trying to resize them so they move to the size of your screen. Don't do it like this. If you want to get everything to be as big as your screen, you highlight everything and you hit spacebar, and bam, just like that, everything is centered in your screen. And now I'm gonna zoom out here. I'm gonna hit spacebar, and I think, oh, this is a bit too small for what I need. If I wanted it to be open on the side, I can make this bigger. Highlight everything again, hit spacebar, and now I always have this on the side. I can drag this to the corner, and when I'm not using it, I can just use my browser or my computer however I want. I can bring it back up like by clicking, and then okay, I could just minimize that. I hit the minimize. This is the PureRef software. Open it back up. It's back on screen. Instead of hitting minimize, you can actually just hit Control M, and it minimizes it for you. Or you can bring the software back again if you want to make it full screen. Control F, and it makes it full screen. If you want to go out of the full screen but you don't want to minimize the window, remember you just right click, hold, and you drag. And when you right click, you can drag the canvas anywhere you want. Again, you can drag. I usually just keep it on the side, or if it gets annoying, I need to access these controls in the bottom right of my screen, I will just drag it to the other side. Or at some point, I just go, it's getting in the way too often. Control M, and it's minimized. I can open it anytime I want. It's always open on my computer. Um, I guess just to illustrate, give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
No, I'm pretty much like a neat freak. So I do like the functionality of being able to highlight them and get everything aligned, whether it's up or centered or whatnot. So I like that part a lot.
mhm. So I'm going to show like what my current list looks like, my actual list.
Ooh,
Yeah. See.
the actual list.
Present. Entire screen. All right. So this is my actual list. I'm gonna go full screen, and this software is very expansive. I could keep a lot of site. I use this project, even though it has my pre-orders. I use
Hmm.
it for a bunch of different other things. So
Yeah.
this is just like this is what a list could look like if you wanted it to be like this. I have pending release on my wish list, so I separate the stuff that's already out versus the stuff that hasn't come out. Um, some of these things are actually out in my pending release part. I just need to update it. Like this one needs to be moved here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and you can see my like the sizes of my images are different depending on what it is. I just whatever looks nice to me is how I edit it. But it's very nice, very useful, very easy. I can say, okay, I don't want these things on my wish list anymore. The whole point of this is so I could edit on the fly. I don't like this Vampirella anymore, or a new one has come out that looks better, or I've decided I don't have the money to spend on that, so I don't even want to look at it anymore where it's tempting me. Delete, and I could just add another image in here. But it's so easy to bring it back because I could just undo, and yeah. But also, you guys want to make sure you always save your file. At least
Yeah.
if you're not going to keep it open indefinitely, like save the file consistently. And yeah, I really like this software. It's good for multiple purposes, but I use it normally for working on my art projects. And but I know I found out that I could use it like this. I found this to be more intuitive than using a spreadsheet. Definitely doesn't have all the information that you can put in a spreadsheet, but a spreadsheet is also geared more towards text. And I know you can put images in spreadsheets, but it's still not going to be like it. That also has its limitations. I feel this is more conducive for having images and like and editing those images on the fly and being very
Yeah.
flexible with how you do that stuff. This is limited in what it can do with text,
Hmm.
unlike a spreadsheet would be. And in a spreadsheet, you could do calculations easily, see the gross amount of everything within certain categories, or just like the price of everything. You know, if you wanted to know how much you were spending, but it depends on your
So
taste.
so
Go ahead.
Jomo has a question. Jomo says, "Does the software populate prices?"
No, no. If you wanted to put prices, you would have to make a text box. So see how I did on this specific statue, this cell. I have the height, the dimensions of the
Ooh.
statue. I
Okay.
put them in text. And I just put it right underneath the statue. So I dragged it and I just put it here. You can put so instead of having the height, I could decide I wanted to put the price of the statue instead. So let's say the statue is 1,500 ship. I can actually just write ship too. So like I know exactly how much that costs. And that's why I was
Yeah.
talking about the benefits of
Same
having
here, Cosmo.
a spreadsheet
Yeah.
versus this. I prefer this to a spreadsheet for the purposes that I have now. So yeah, if you wanted to add prices, you could do it like that by adding text. And so I have this text. I'm just gonna copy because I want all the text to be exactly the same size without
Yeah.
having to make any edits. I can literally just copy this, click here, then paste it. And so I have the exact same text from there, but oh, this one is a different price. Well, I could just go in and edit this. The price of this is maybe 1,200 chip,
Yeah.
right? And the same thing can be done here, here, here. And I can edit it super fast if I wanted. I could add a bunch of text and information that I wanted on the fly, and things could change very fast. But I just like having images of the actual statues, and they're looking at me, super easy to manipulate however I want. Or for some instance, if I'm scrolling through Facebook or I watch a video and I see a really good image of a statue I like, look at this punchline. Okay, I didn't use the stock photo from the website. I used
Yeah.
a picture that was someone took in the gallery, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I just thought that helped capture the essence of the piece more, and it was more. It makes me feel like the statue is great. So that's just an example of something. That's something you could do if you want, if you like it. And so there's different scenarios where I'm doing stuff like that here. The same with this Carnage, the same with this Vampirella. I just took a picture someone had already put online. And so if I wanted to change these pictures out for something else, I can do it easily on the fly as well. Um, is that all the questions everyone has? Because I'm pretty much done.
Yeah. Quick comment. Comet Galaxy says, "What's up, everybody? As much as I appreciate this seminar, if I need to do all this to keep track of my pre-orders, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble." I could definitely see that if you have like a lot, but like I think Jomo kind of comes back and says, "Oh, question answer. This is more for the visual," and I think for the visualization, that's where it would actually be kind of because I keep track of all mine, but see, I'll pull mine up for example real quick and see mine is on my phone, and like if I share mine on my phone, then this is my list, you see what I'm saying, and I have it broken down by like stat by companies, you know what I'm saying, like Sideshow, uh Custom Company, Prime One, uh PCS, things like that. So it's a little different, you know what I'm saying, versus Buck. It has the actual like the pictures, and if I could do the pictures and then I could just like label it underneath, I think that part would be very cool
Another
for
thing,
myself.
another thing that I like it for is if someone ever goes, I want to see. Let me do this. Let me present again. My bad.
What's up, Danny? Appreciate that, man.
What's up, Danny? All right. So if someone ever said they wanted to see my pre-order list, I could just go like that, spacebar, and use the snipping tool.
Ah,
I've got an image of my list, and I just post that
post it
because
in the group.
a
Yep.
lot of people, because not everyone's gonna know the names of the statue you like,
Yeah.
whatever. If you just want to share with your friends, it makes it super convenient. You know when you get those posts on Facebook where someone goes, "I want to see what everyone's pre-orders are."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna put like a text list. People usually use software that they use to make collages,
Collages. Yep.
and they'll throw all the pictures into one. I just like this format. It works for me because I
Hmm.
use it to organize my pre-orders, and because I'm always changing my mind, and
Yeah.
the way I like to progress, like as you can see, I know Comic Galaxy said if he needed to use this to like check his pre-orders, he's screwed. But like I generally try not to put much in here. Like I've only paid 2 of these, right? And normally before I'd only have 4 on pre-order. I just got a bit like excessive recently. Normally the only part that will have a lot of pieces is my wish list, and this is always in flux. And because I'm always editing it constantly, I decided I didn't want a wish list. And even when you're looking at a wish list, it's like you're looking at lines of text, and you got to click, highlight that, delete it. And with this, you know, I'm like thinking, I don't want this statue. It's $2,000. Delete. It's gone. I could bring it back easily. You could do pretty much the same thing, but I have the visual representation of the statue when I'm trying to weigh what I like more. I'm actually looking at the pictures, not the names. I don't need to know what the statue is called when I'm deciding what it is that I want to keep on this list. I'm looking at actual pictures of the pieces, right? And that helps me a lot better. Like just having that visual representation. It's not like, oh, it's the most amazing thing in the world, but like I prefer this, and I thought it was worth sharing for everyone. Anyone who wanted to use this, I thought it was going to be worth sharing. So yeah.
Yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt. Bats in the Belfry says, Buck, thanks for the education. Danny says, is that a mutant? I see pending. Wow.
You saw wrong, Danny. You saw wrong.
Oh, so last question. Jomo says, could you merge the two programs?
spreadsheet with this. I don't know, man. Maybe someone will do that someday, but I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, actually, it'll probably be extremely useful in some use cases. I can't necessarily think of why I would want to do that though.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can actually I can see. I'm already forming ideas in my head of how that could actually really work well. The grids in an Excel sheet could also be the grids that makes the images stack together
Mm-hmm.
within the visual, so you can flip between the visual representation. And I could see it working. Yeah, that's a good idea, but like I don't know how to do it myself. And that would be a unique program in and of itself. I don't think you'd be able to bridge, like have some kind of extension that plugs in, like a plugin to like plug in one of these into the other. That would be cool, I guess, if it existed. But definitely, like I think this is good for anyone who likes to organize their pre-orders with pictures instead of text. I think this is useful. The only thing is, this can't be edited on your phone, and you can't use it. People that are like more heavy phone users than they are with computers, this might not be as desirable for you. You might just stick to using a notepad on your phone. But for me, I don't like using my phone much. I prefer to use my computer. Um, this is the most ideal solution for me for organizing my pre-orders.
Yeah, definitely, man. Any last questions in the chat, man? Go ahead and throw them in. We can answer any questions for you. Just a quick couple statements, man. Common Galaxy says definitely worth sharing. Thanks, Buck. Slifer says I'm visual. Thanks, Buck. Glad you did the video.
You're welcome.
Jomo says working on it already. Let you know my progress when I get it working. No doubt, man. Cool,
That's
cool.
awesome, man. I don't know if you're on Facebook, but if you are, if once you make your pre-order, like anyone who uses this to do their pre-order list, like go ahead and post it in the Cashing Out group, man. I'd like to see what you guys, because you guys might honestly come up with a better system for organizing things than me that I didn't really think of, because I just showed you the way I do it. Because the software, like you can do organize things however you want
Yep.
using the like tools that I showed you. And then again, the name of the software is PureF. If you want to go into like, there's better videos on YouTube. I didn't do the best job explaining the shortcuts I used. I wish I had I beforehand I'd made it so like my mouse could like flash whenever I clicked. You could do stuff like that, but I didn't stop to think about it. And then also whenever I hit a combination of keys on my keyboard, if it could show up on screen to show you guys what shortcuts I was using. I was saying them out loud for you guys, but if you guys want to actually like watch, there's tutorial videos, maybe like 10 things you need to know about PureF, like just showing you quick lists of like shortcuts that will be useful for you within the software. And it's a good software. I'd like to see more people use it. If you do use it and you like it, or if you've seen how it's been used, when you want to download it, it'll be awesome if you can donate to the to the developers, right? So you saw the amount. You don't have to put $5. It could be $3, $2. Think of it like a YouTube super chat or like a small donation. It doesn't have to be so much money, but if you think it's worth your while at all to even use it, go ahead
Yeah,
and like shoot them a little bit of money, like a tip jar.
definitely, definitely. Um, Heck yeah, man. Dude, and speaking of them super chats, if anybody so deems themselves to send us a super chat, hey, we greatly appreciate it, man. I think this channel has gotten 2 super chats throughout the existence of the capability to get super chats. So that'd be kind of dope. Key says, Cash, have you watched the old SpongeBob movie? Maybe, probably have, man. Probably have. Let's see here. Here is the website, peerref.com. So anybody wants to check it out, go ahead and check it out. And you know what I'm saying, he'll be able to go ahead and get that. And yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Mhm.
I think I think because like I do see those posts a lot where people are doing the like collage things and stuff like that, and hey, let's see your pre-orders, or hey, what you guys pre-ordered this month type deal. Like for example, Dennis Perez. Dennis Perez is a great example. He always puts some in the collage. Hey, this is what I got on the order. It'll be like 4 or 5 things, whatever like that, and just throws it out there like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh boy, Keesis. Dude, Keesis has like the dumbest jokes ever. Let's go ahead and share this for Keesis. But we gotta let Keesis get his 15 minutes of fame, as they say it. So Keesis says, Cash, have you watched the old SpongeBob movie where he had to get King up to his crown? I said, I think, Keesis. Actually, now that I've seen the image, I definitely has. He says, your head looks like, dude, I've literally had the same hairline since being a teenager, bro. So appreciate you for noticing, man. Shout out to Keesis, man. Let's see here. Oh man, I don't even, dude. I gotta get the special clip for this, man. I don't even have a clip ready, but damn it, just because Danny likes this clip, freak it, man. Where's the clip? I almost played the wrong clip back here. Crap. I can't even find it now.
Oh shit! The moment
It's
is
fooled me
stretching.
once. Shame on you.
Nah, man. Shout out to Danny, man. I appreciate you, Danny. Danny says $10 super chat from Danny. I want Buck to say out loud, I love X-Men. He even paid Buck.
Hey yo, pause. I don't love any man. I'm gonna say that. I love women. Danny, I'm sorry I can't say that word for you.
Come on, Buck. Danny even super chatted it.
I love ex women like Dazzler.
You love Storm.
No, I don't. I love X-Men. There you go,
Okay.
Danny.
Appreciate that, Danny Lee. Shout out to BBC, man. Wow, appreciate that. Danny is officially the 3rd super chat ever, so I appreciate you, man. Definitely. Danny says good enough, man. Heck yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. Definitely appreciate you for doing that. Wow, clip that shit. That's crazy. That is crazy. I see a ton of tutorials on YouTube, dude. YouTube is like the place for how to do this, so how to do that, literally if you buy a new device, for example, the DJI, the video camera, a lot of people were using that at the StatueCon. There's so many tutorials about how to do it, how to use the gimbals and all that stuff like that. Like if you just sit down and take the time, it may take you a bunch of videos, but you just sit down and do that. Yeah, like you'll be able to learn a lot, man. God dang it.
Oh, I just want to say again to everyone, if anyone actually uses the software and you organize your pre-orders with this, it'd be awesome if you could share it in the group. I like to know, if I do help anyone out with this, I like them to show how they've used it again, because I'm really curious to see if anyone does things differently from how I've shown. I want to see because there'll be cool tips I could learn from other people as well. So you just post that in the Cashing Out community group, and I'll definitely see it. I'm a mod over there, so I'll see it.
Heck yeah. Well, dude, that's pretty much it for the video, man. Working on this thumbnail here. I guess I'll just share this real quick here. Give me 1 second. I'll share this, and then that'll be the only thing I have before we head out. Let me just see this real quick here. Give me 1 second.
I don't know why Keith just keeps asking these weird questions.
Dude, I don't know, man. Keesis is a weird guy. You know what I'm saying? He's all right, man. So still working on the thumbnail before I get it together and put it up tonight. But tomorrow, every single week, we got an unboxing every Sunday. This one's gonna be on a Monday just due to the guests coming. But every single Sunday, probably until the end of October, there will be a live unboxing every Sunday. The first one up here is going to be Thanos on Throne from Sideshow Collectibles. Again, to reiterate, I didn't think this was a statue that I was going to need or want, but after seeing it at StatueCon, I knew it was the Thanos for me, with the presence, the size, the details, and everything like that, man. And even though I was like walking through the StatueCon, even my guy JP was like, man, appreciate the shout out. So those of you guys who don't know, you got William Harbottle on the sculpt. You got my guy JP Mavinga on the design. Cannot wait to unbox this bad boy tomorrow. And then I do have there. It does come with a extra custom portrait. So if anybody does want that portrait, just let me know, because that's not really my thing far as the MCU version. So if anybody wants it, hey, pay for that shipping for your boy, just a little bit of cash. When I say a little bit, I literally mean $50. Like, I don't even care. But yeah, man, really looking forward to this. And yeah, man, that's all I have to share myself. Any last words, Buck?
I do not love those damn muties. No more mutants. In fact, yeah, I don't want to see any more mutant statues. I just want to get Spider-Man stuff. That is good. Spider-Man pieces that are good would be awesome.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, dude, without further ado, thank you, Buck Fangs, for this. And everybody else out there, man, you guys enjoy your Sunday night. And tomorrow, I hope you guys have a great start to the work week. It's been real. Put some cash in your life, baby.
Put some cash in your life. Put some cash in your life. If your cash ain't right, if your cash ain't right, put some cash in your life. Put some cash